Today we speak about fear and anxiety, which are normal characteristics of our life. So not something that is particularly associated to this current time or it was associated to the time of COVID. So not to uncertain times, because uncertain times are part of our life. Our life is unpredictable. Things are constantly changing. Things cannot be foreseen. But the mind wants to control, and when external conditions are difficult, are dark, are unsure, and we cannot foresee what's about to come, then our mind starts panicking, and there is where the fear comes. How do we heal our fear? Shamanically, healing our wounds. So not ignoring them, but going through the process, which means staying faithful to what is happening, staying in the emotions, not trying to send emotions away, not trying to do something else to cover that painful emotion. So allowing ourselves to cry, allowing ourselves to see that is absolutely fine. To be in a shadow time, to go through a darkness time, to go through the dark shadow of the night. And another way to, on a daily basis, to deal with fear and anxiety is to learn how to read images. So to learn to speak with our spirits, with our allies, with our daimon, which is the main spirit that has been given to us when we were born and will be with us our own life. But there are so many allies that are staying with us. Not necessarily are the traditional gods, because images themselves are gods. They are speaking with us in a very simple way. We can go out for a walk, we see a sunset, and that sunset is an image that is saying something to us. We also need to recognize that sometimes images are not pleasant, and these are absolutely fine. So they are the perfect images that are sent to us to try to understand something. So to try to communicate with the spirits doesn't require on a simple basis to be clairvoyant, to be able to hear voices coming from another reality. We just simply need to be able to observe what's around us, because the answers that are inside us from an external point of view are already contained in the happenings that are coming to us, in the people that we meet, especially those people that are the challenging ones. Have the real key for our soul to evolve. So the images around us are a way through which the spirits are trying to send answers. We can also go for omen walks to find specific answers to a question that we have, which would be a specific shamanic process. But if we need to speak in a very simple way, the image, whatever is coming in our life, is containing an essence and a lesson for us to understand. The fact is that people always pay attention to something like, for example, numbers or synchronicities, but they are just big examples of a way through which the divine is speaking with us, especially when they're sending us master numbers or mirror numbers, the 1111, 2222, numbers that are mirroring each other. And they are a way of the divine to grab our attention, because we know that it is something that we understand, that we recognize. But then the mind comes in and asks, okay, but what do they mean? The mind tries to understand, the mind tries to find the code, find the reading code, which is the reading code of the society, which is the labeling, the reading code of the system. So the answer that the mind is trying to give to those images is an answer that is coming from logic, an answer that is coming from a condition of something that can be understood. But the invisible cannot be understood, the invisible cannot be grasped. The answers that are coming from the spirits, that are the right answers for our conditions, cannot be taken, cannot be part of a life where we are required to be detached, where we are required to consider that we do not belong to this reality, because the whole reality around us is an illusion of the mind. So the more we try to analyze, the more we become victim of the mind, and the more we become unhappy, because there are no answers that make sense. Or there can be temporary answers coming to us, but then they will just be included in the veil of Maya. And what we need to do is to remove that veil. And when we do it, what we find under the veil can be something that not necessarily is pleasant, because we need to see the true reality of some situations. We need to face our weaknesses, we need to face our deep inner struggle, and be with them. Be with them for the time that is needed for us to understand that lesson. So each time that there is a difficulty, we don't need to keep saying ourselves, it will be fine, it will go away, and not to think about it and just do something else. No, we need to be in that moment. We need to be with our finger going inside that wound, inside that grief, and sort it out, even if it's taking months, even if it's taking years. It's something that once it's done, at least it will be, I think, less on our soul to be considered, because some situations we know per experience. We are living situations that actually have not been faced for a variety of reasons, not necessarily for their fault by our ancestors, and we are the one that needs to, the chosen one that needs to go into our lineage, have a look, and maybe after experiencing and being a symbol, for example, of all the pain that the women in our lineage have experienced in some past centuries, we are the one, the chosen one, that is considered to be ready to heal all that line. Not just our life only, but by doing that we have the power of healing of lots of other generations before us, and to do this process also for all the generations that will come after us. But that process requires to be able to heal the wound, not placing a patch, not hiding, but being able to repair this wound, being able to understand all the difficulties, all the different aspects, because each wound is different, and each process of repairing each wound, if we use, for example, the beautiful element and process of the kintsugi, repairing the pottery with gold, can be done in a variety of ways. Sometimes when we feel broken and there are pieces inside ourselves that cannot be simply repaired by just placing the two pieces together, because there are parts of these pieces that are missing, and there, for example, is where in shamanism we would go and search for a part of our soul that has been lost, that has been taken away, and the shaman would do and go in a journey and find this part of that soul that has been lost. And sometimes we need to repair our wounds, placing an element coming from another pottery. So not only placing a lot of gold in that part that is missing, but also taking something from another piece. So taking something, sometimes we need to repair our wound, taking a part of the experience that is offered by someone else.